What is going on, guys? Jason Burke here, Styles Clash for Life, coming at you on YouTube with another edition of The Drive-In. The Drive-In is a series I have on my channel here where I review more recent movies. I also do retro reviews and stuff of the old school classics. That is Tales from the Fort. This particular segment is The Drive-In, where I talk about newer ones. I'm talking about one that came out in the US toward the end of 2017. It was like December 2017. So it's been about 7 months, but I wanted to call this as part of the drive-in. I'm talking about Better Watch Out. It's a Christmas horror film. There's going to be spoilers in this review. So if you guys have not seen it and you want to check it out, pause this video, go watch that. It is quite worth the watch. And then come back and check out this review. Talking about Better Watch Out. It is an Australian horror film that debuted officially in Australia in 2016. I think via some different festivals, and then came out officially in 2017 here in the U.S. So it's an Australian horror film, 16-17. Director is Chris Peckover, and the writers are Chris Peckover as well, and Zach Kahn. I could not find out much about these two. They didn't have pages online that I could look at. They didn't have very many big or well-known credits to their names, so I couldn't find out much about director Chris Peckover or writers Peckover and Zach Kahn. But this thing was a lot of fun. This is there's some comedy elements, there's some action sequences, there's some horror and gore. There's a lot of things to this movie. I have been told for the last 6 months, you gotta watch it, you gotta watch it. It's a good Christmas horror. Good Christmas horror is hard to come by. We haven't seen it for several years, since Krampus, in my opinion. But I really enjoyed this. It's on Shudder now. If you guys have Shudder, go check it out. I got Shudder for a 1-week trial to watch the Joe Bob Briggs horror marathon, the 24-hour thing that he did. I'll talk with you guys about that in the future. That was quite fun, but so was this movie. It starred Olivia DeJonge, Levi Miller, and Ed Oxenbould. The plot of this Christmas horror movie is Olivia DeLonge's character. I didn't write their names down. I apologize. Olivia DeLonge's character, who was excellent. She was in The Visit as well. If you guys have seen The Visit, she was the lead character in that as well. Her character is a babysitter. She's about to leave town and move to a different place. So she's going to babysit her child friend one more time for the family that she always sits for. And he and his best friend, Levi Miller and Ed Oxenbould, their characters are best friends who are, video game players, sexually driven, pretty much standard 10-year-old kids. And DeJonge plays, I think, like a 16, 17-year-old, maybe a little older. But she goes to sit for them one last time for Christmas while the parents go out to a party, and things take drastic turns that you do not expect. One of the things that I loved about this film is that it came totally out of nowhere. It reminded me a lot of The Babysitter on Netflix. If you guys know Babysitter, you guys should check that one out as well. That's an excellent one. But it seems like it's going to be a basic kind of break-in home invasion thriller, and it winds up taking a drastic right turn to a very different thing. DeJonge and Levi Miller hear a bunch of noises. They see signs and people coming into the house. You see shadows. You think it's going to be a standard home invasion, but what it winds up being, spoilers, is Levi Miller's character trying to stage a break-in so that he can save Olivia DeJonge, who he has a crush on and has tried to get with for years. And so he fakes this break-in to try to save her. She finds out that it's the best friend, and then he winds up kind of snapping and deciding to knock her out, kidnap her, and try to play some sick games with DeJonge's character. It really kind of came out of left field and surprised me because she had been watching this kid as his babysitter for 8, 9, 10 years, and now all of a sudden he's taken this hard right turn from being this innocent kid who had a crush on her to being this kind of maniacal killer who planned this whole night of murder and gore. He winds up calling up several of her ex-boyfriends to come over, and he winds up manipulating them, killing them. There's some good gore in this movie. Just to think about a seemingly innocent Levi Miller, 10-year-old character, being a trapper and a killer in this movie seems really far out, but it kind of adds to the comedy and adds to the attention and horror. This thing has good music. It has slowed down some Christmas songs we know and love to be kind of horror toned. That was great. The cinematography was good. We had a lot of cool Christmas light shots of snow, shots of reindeers, an evil Santa Claus. They took a lot of Christmas tropes and turned them into horror ones, including the soundtrack, which was really cool. Good soundtrack, good cinematography, well paced. This thing flew by. It was like an hour and 25 minutes. It seemed like 20 minutes. It was very quick. The humor was just in how Levi and Ed got along as best friends, trying to manipulate and use this game that got way out of hand. Ed Oxenbould kind of played the innocent character who didn't want it to go as far as it did, but was manipulated. There's a shotgun kill in this where a body flies across the room. There is an awesome scene. The best scene of the movie is a Home Alone paint can scene. If you guys have seen Home Alone, you know what Macaulay Culkin's character did to the two robbers. There was a paint can murder scene where a guy's head gets crushed by a paint can. If you guys like Home Alone, you'll love that scene. I jumped out of my chair and laughed at this awesome death scene, like the Satanist that I am, I guess. I really enjoyed a lot of the gore in this. The kills were creative. It was spread out nicely. The pacing was great. The dialogue was funny, but also had good serious turns. It's a little far-fetched for this kid to be able to run the show here and kind of be the antagonist. But basically, the girl eventually gets out of the trap at some point. Seemingly the parents are on their way home. You think the girl eventually gets killed, but she winds up being alive and carted off in the ambulance. As the little boy, Levi's character, looks out the window, she flips him off, signifying that she is the sole survivor in this movie. Again, good tension throughout. But then at the end, in the post-credit scene, he asks his mom, who doesn't know that he's a killer, I hope that she's okay. She's going to the hospital. I want to go visit her. So it kind of leaves it open for a possible sequel, or leaves it open to let us know that he may have gotten a hold of her in the hospital. So it has that dark, ambiguous ending to it, where you don't really know what happens. And I would love to see another film like this, a sequel or a spin-off kind of film. That would be really cool. I really enjoyed this. I'm kind of all over the place with this review. I'm kind of rambling, but again, well shot, well paced, good characters, nice mix of horror and comedy, good soundtrack, and really good acting, considering all the actors are young and two of the actors are kind of considered kids. Kids usually in horror movies are not very bearable. They're very, very good in this film. So if you like a fast-paced, easy watch for a Christmas horror film, yeah, it's a little far-fetched, but all in all, I think it's very, very well done, and I think you guys will enjoy it. I give Better Watch Out a 7.5 out of 10. So if you guys have seen Better Watch Out, what do you think? Tell me in the comments down below. I hope that I did justice with this review. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's on Shudder right now. I'm sure you can find it on Amazon as well. Until next time, guys, give me some ideas of more things you want to see me review on this channel at The Drive-In. Until next time, guys, lock your doors, be scared, stay safe, and enjoy the movies.